Alright, what's up guys? Been a long time, but finally we're here. A lot of things going on. You know, we've been busy. We've also been preparing for a big milestone. Our baby girl's on the way here any day, so it's been a lot going on, but you know, I did have a chance today to kind of, put out some content. Over the Christmas break, throughout December and January, we had a few weddings that were very good, went very well, required some planning and some adjustments here and there, and there was a few things that I thought were really good teaching moments that may benefit you guys, any other photographer that still look for inspiration just like I do, always looking to see how they can get better. So here's something that might save you time or may save you the trouble of kind of going through this. So both the weddings that we had in December had relatively large bridal parties. Talked before about dealing with large bridal parties, but just that whole system or that part of the day in general can be challenging sometimes. Bridal portraits or group photos or formal photos of the bridal party after the ceremony, that part can be challenging for many different reasons, but we've kind of got a good system that we make simple to have the most effective process to get the best pictures that we can, and anything after that is what we consider icing on the cake. As long as you can get your main photos and your main shots, and then that will give you time afterwards to do anything else that's special or something that the couple might want to do, or any other ideas that creatively that you might want to try. So bridal party photos in general, this is our favorite part of the day, honestly. These are my favorite photos to take. These are the photos that most likely the couple are going to be posting on Facebook, the ones that you're going to use in your website and your portfolio. And it's just the most exciting part of the day. It's the part of the day where, when everybody gets together, the edge starts to come off a little bit. It's a little bit of a chance for you to breathe. Everybody can see each other. The excitement can kind of come out now. People can talk to each other and celebrate. And that's all looks great in the photos. You can see the excitement in people's faces, the smiles. They've probably been holding this back all day. Nobody's seen each other. So the guys and the girls, and of course the bride and the groom, to get together, and they have a chance to share this moment and see each other. And it really is easy capturing all this, So give me a second, I got some notes written down here, guys. So our system, when it comes to taking bridal party photos or group photos, we like to start with everybody together. So the entire bridal party, groomsmen and bridesmaids. The reason we do that is because, like I said, there's so much excitement. People are so giddy, and we like to try to harness or take advantage of all that excitement. I don't like to have anybody sitting on the side waiting. As much as I can, I don't want to have somebody sitting on the side. So I don't want to have the girls on the side or the guys on the side. So I like to do everybody together first. And the first simple pose I have everybody do is I tell them, bride and groom in the middle, in the same order that you guys are at the altar is what you're going to do now. So of course, by now, I'm sure they've had a rehearsal. They have an idea of how they'll be standing when they get to the altar. I just simply tell them, hey, the order that you guys are in at the altar, let's get in that position now. And that makes it easy. Some people like to do shortest to tallest. I get that. It doesn't always work like that, because the bridesmaids or the best man, might end up being on the end because of that. So I keep it simple. Most of the time the groomsman or the best man and the bridesmaid, the maid of honor, will end up being next to the bride, and the best man will be next to the groom. So after I get them all lined up as if they were at the altar, I have the girls put their bouquet to the belly buttons. That way it's not covering too much of their face or their neck. And then I have the guys put the hand that's closest to me in the pocket. I might change this up sometimes. I may tell the guys, hey, let's put your right hand over left or left hand on the right, depending on which side they're on. But I like to have that hand in the pocket. It's real clean, it's smooth. A lot of times, guys, our biggest problem is that we don't know what to do with our hands. And this kind of solves that issue. And then this gives a real clean look. Everybody's in line. Another tip I like to say is that for everybody, imagine yourselves being on one straight line, and everybody's toes should be on that same line. The reason I say this is because depth of field is a big issue, especially if you shoot at a certain f-stop. So I like to shoot somewhere for like these types of portraits, somewhere like 2.8, maybe even 3.2. Not too low, because I don't want to risk somebody being blurred out, but I like to shoot around there. And if somebody's too far up or too far back, they may end up getting blurred out the photo. So that's just another tip I like to tell the entire bridal party, is just to have your feet or toes all on that same line or plane all the way across, so that nobody's outside of focus. And then of course from this, you can just do so many different variations. One thing that you can do for the bridesmaids is have them hold the flowers of the bouquet with the hand closest to you, and the arm that's on the back side, have them put their arm around the person next to them. So what this does is allows them to get really, really close and real tight. And it prevents there from being any gaps, and it looks really, really good when everybody's close in, and especially for the weddings that we just had. It was cold outside, so everybody being real close was really, really important and helpful, to kind of to deal with the weather, so, and then also, sometimes I like to make jokes with the guys and just tell them, hey, this is just for the girls. You guys can get closer if you want to, but that's up to you. So, it's just an example of how to keep things light. It's a really, really, it's a lot going on. There's a lot of emotions, and it's important for you to kind of set that tone and keep things light. After you get that standard photo with the guys on one side and the girls on one side, another cool pose I like to try is a staggered look. This is when you have boy, girl, basically throughout the lineup. It looks really, really good, and it's a great way to add some variety in the album and the photos. So what I'll do, because it can be confusing, I used to have trouble with this as far as like how to verbalize it and give direction. But what you can do is just have every other groomsman and bridesmaid switch places. So you basically will say, hey, you switch places with that person, and then do it for every other person. And it'll be easy. It'll only take like, maybe 30 seconds to do. And then usually the bridal party or the group doesn't really get it until they're actually in place. But once everybody's in place, it looks really, really good. So that's just another quick tip to add, or another pose to add while you're doing bridal party photos, something to add some variety. So of course, after that, after you get everybody together, then that's when I start to break it down. I'll do just the girls, and then after that, I'll do just the guys. Of course, my wife shoots with me while I'm shooting these photos. She's shooting on the side at different angles. She's shooting horizontal and vertical. Again, giving more variety to the album. And if I'm doing the girls and I'm taking their photos, then my wife is off to the side and she's doing something with the guys. Now we try not to repeat photos just to take up space. So one thing that we did start doing recently is that while I'm shooting group photos with the girls, she's doing headshots, for the guys, and vice versa, headshots for the girls. This is a very good marketing tip as a photographer. If you take one headshot for each person, more than likely they may use this as a Facebook profile photo, Instagram, a job, posting, Indeed, or whatever it may be. And everybody would love to have a clean, crisp photo or headshot. Just something else to add is, like a little gift. You can send these out individually. You can trust the bride or groom to give them out to their friends. This is a great marketing tip to do. So that's pretty much it. Other than that, I can tell you the equipment I use. Of course, I told you guys I use a Canon R6, and we recently just invested in the Canon RF 28-70. It's been a game changer, especially for situations like this where you could be dealing with a photo that requires a very wide angle because of the large amount of people. And it can quickly dwindle down to maybe 4 or 3 or 5 people, depending on how many people are in the bridal party. So it's good to have that quick change instead of changing lenses every time, which is what I used to do. But there's nothing wrong with that. Use your feet. You can change lenses. I used to use a 50 1.2 as my go-to lens. It's wide enough to get most, group photos, but when you do the guys and the girls, you may have to back up quite a bit or just use a wider lens. So that's pretty much all I have for today as far as bridal party photos goes. I hope this was helpful. If you have any other tips or advice that you would recommend as a photographer, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. And yeah, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.